There is a palpable sense of anticipation among Canadians with roots in the Philippines as the Southeast Asian nation approaches a presidential election where it seems no less than democracy itself is at stake.
Why, Bongbong? Yeah. We need a change in our country. Unification. That's a Filipino.
This Montrealer unequivocal in her support for Ferdinand Marcos Jr., known to millions as Bong Bong, who's taken a commanding lead in the polls. His father, Ferdinand Marcos Sr., was the deeply divisive dictator and kleptocrat who cracked down on dissent, thrust the country into martial law in the 70s before his ouster and exile in the 80s. So how has a former First Family with so much political baggage prompted reactions like this? The younger Marcos has been accused of running a massive misinformation campaign to rewrite, minimize, and in some cases completely dismiss his father's record. Millions in the Philippines seem convinced, and so are people in Canada.
I know, I read about all of this stuff, but there's no proven with all those things.
This is the duster that I was wearing when they arrested me.
This former political prisoner says she was detained, tortured, and sexually assaulted by agents of the first Marcos regime. Hers just one of tens of thousands of similar stories, according to Amnesty International. The fear is that political opponents and dissenters will be treated the same way under a new Marcos regime and the past erased.
The relatives proved that they were killed, summarily executed, tortured.
Human rights lawyer Leni Robredo is Marcos' most serious challenger, but she's being relentlessly smeared on social media and is about 20 points behind in polls.
I see Leni Robredo giving us, I think, the principles of a good governance.
Tenny Rose Diandante is one of her biggest supporters in Montreal and got a barrage of angry messages after she held an event promoting Robredo last month.
Being pink here, or being Leni Robredo here in Montreal, you need a gut.
She sees Robredo as a hopeful step away from a corrupt regime, but if she were to defeat Marcos' information machine, it would be a huge upset. Dan Spector, Global News, Montreal.